legs completely buckled and he collapsed heavily onto the hardwood near mid-court.
Taken to Bologna helicopter and
CPR or the use of a defibrillator. This destroyed Patrick's only chance of survival.
You raggedy bitch.
The medical company's license was instantly suspended, and the doctor responsible was later convicted of weirdo. Second, their paths crossed violently.
Okay, what's up, squad? What's up, team? It's your girl Martin, aka MJ, aka the Barefoot Hooper. I hope you guys' week has been, oh my god, I hope your guys' week has been amazing, and
thank you.
I hope your guys' weekends to come is even more amazing. You guys are able to spread your wings, enjoy the weekend, enjoy some laughs, some partying, some chilling, some vibes, some money making, whatever it is, you know. I hope oh, if you going to church too, so whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it. But so today's gonna be a little different. I have a few videos lined up that I still need to upload. I'm always gonna say that because I overly recorded back in the day. Weirdo. Like every day I was just working. And I would just say more so building. And motherfucker come and just break my little, you know, blocks that I was building, and I was gonna build it again. And so that's where I'm at right now. Anyways, they're like documentaries, but it's like a compilation of different videos and athletes or just people in general who might have gone through something tragic during certain events. So like I'm gonna put on one that's sports related, obviously, but sometimes I'll watch some that's work related or house related. I did see one that was kind of similar to The Worst Neighbor on Netflix, which is very fucking crazy. You guys should go watch that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be watching reacting to like some little videos of athletes who went to a game, and these are NBA players, NFL players, skateboarders, skiers. There was this kid, he was young, and so you guys know when you guys be in those they be in the little thing, and then it's like a sled hill kind of, that's what I call it, and then they're racing in the little tubes and it's like all on ice. Y'all, one of the turns he flew out and hit the pillar, and the fucking the people who built the damn thing was like, oh, nobody's ever flew out, nobody's ever hit these pillars. Well, no fucking shit. That shit was crazy to me. But I don't think that will be in this one. We'll see. Sports, okay? So this is gonna be a sports related. It's kind of like Scarred, but it's like a mountaintop. So some people don't really, they get hurt. Some get hurt, and it's crazy as hell. And then some, is worse than just getting hurt. Some of these athletes have lost their lives playing these sports because of tragic ass events or natural causes that might mess up their play, or you know, it could be a health matter. We're gonna just watch some of these videos. I also have another video that I'm gonna upload, and I'm sorry this is getting too long, but yeah, I have another video of me just in nature. I have some yoga stretches. I have, what else do I have? I have the part 2 of that brand, that clothing brand that I was marketing. And then I have some trick shots video. Like, you guys, let's just get into this video. Okay, let's go.
Ratzenberger was taken to Bologna Hospital by helicopter, and we have just had very sad news.
25 sports accidents, 7 levels. I watched hours of sports footage to find the most disturbing sports accidents ever broadcast on television. We'll open with some split-second errors, then move into big institutional mistakes that should never have happened. Level 1. One club legend. When cameras caught a goalkeeper sitting up and clutching his jaw after a collision, the entire stadium assumed it was nothing serious. 38-year-old Khairul Huda was the heart and soul of Persela Lamongan, an Indonesian football club. He had stayed completely loyal to his hometown team for 18 straight years, ever since making his debut in 1999. On October 15, 2017, nearly 10,000 fans packed Surajaya Stadium to watch him lead his team against Semen Padang. Everything started exactly according to plan, but right before the halftime whistle, a loose ball rolled dangerously into Persela's penalty area. Guided by pure protective instinct, Huda charged off his goal line to slide and clear the threat. At the same second, his own defender was sprinting backward at full speed to track an opposing striker. In a fraction of a second, their paths crossed violently. Instead of going totally limp from the impact, Huda actually managed to sit up.
Did he run into his knee? I thought first the way he said that, I thought they head collided. He ran into his knee? I thought bumping knees in basketball hurt like a motherfucker. Get in, yo. This is crazy. In a live game. And it was your own team, mate.
Weirdo. Holding his mouth and his lower jaw. Suddenly, he slumped backward onto the pitch, losing consciousness completely. Medics immediately rushed to his side, administered first aid, and loaded him into a standby ambulance. Specialists at the hospital tried advanced resuscitation, but the internal damage was too severe. Just an hour after his collision, Khairul Huda was pronounced dead. Because the match had actually continued while Huda was rushed away, his teammates didn't find out the truth until the final whistle blew on their 2-0 victory. To honor his unmatched loyalty, Persela permanently...
What? Wait, hold on. So basically what you're telling me is the team had to continue playing without knowing what happened to their brother, their teammate. Wow. And because soccer games is long, it was an hour after that collision, like he was pronounced, What? I would have been on that bench like, coach. Am I wrong? Y'all, where y'all with it? I feel like I would have been the annoying team. Like, go then, MJ, you want to go to the hospital? Yes, okay.
They retired the #1 jersey, sealing his legacy with the phrase, "One man, one club, one love."
Dang! One man, one... I forgot already. One man, one team, one club. I don't know. But that's really sad. That's super sad. That day, he did not think, this is my last game. Ever. Like, this is my last day brushing my teeth. Like, oh my gosh.
Millions of college basketball fans turned in for a long-awaited live broadcast. But they had no idea they were about to witness a horrific tragedy unfold on the court. At the center of this massive television event was Hank Gathers, a 23-year-old powerhouse forward. On March 4th, 1990, his team was tearing through the West Coast Conference Tournament semifinal against Portland, playing inside a packed home arena. With just over 13 minutes left in the first half, Hank caught a beautiful alley-oop pass and threw down a spectacular dunk. The entire stadium rose to its feet in amazement, but as Hank turned to jog back down the court, his legs completely buckled and he collapsed heavily onto the hardwood near mid-court. Hank desperately tried to push himself back up to his knees, but he slumped backward onto the floor. Medical responders rushed onto the floor working on the young superstar as his terrified mother ran out from the bleachers. The live broadcast production crew kept the cameras rolling for some agonizing minutes. Eventually, Hank was finally carried off the court on a stretcher. And tragically, 2 hours later, Hank Gathers was officially pronounced dead after suffering a fatal cardiac emergency.
This is only the second episode, like the second one. Dang, they usually like work up to it. Like that's the person who got hurt usually is okay in the first few ones. They got straight to it.
Bruh.
Man,
Senior from Loyola Marymount, the 11th leading all-time scorer in NCAA history, led the NCAA in scoring last year, led the NCAA in rebounding last year.
He didn't even get to graduate.
First half of his LMU's WCC quarterfinal game in Los Angeles against Portland.
The incident completely paralyzed the college basketball world, but what they didn't know was that Hank had been harboring a dangerous secret. Just a few months earlier, he had collapsed during a game and was diagnosed with an abnormal heart rhythm. Fearing that...
All right, Hank, I'm not gonna lie. Like, your family, the team, the staff, I don't know. Because like I've said, you know, I know I was playing on a Kenko and stuff, but like... Weirdo! My heart, you can't just keep playing around like that. Like, your adrenaline and your heart is pumping fast. Like, you know, and if you already have had an incident to where you have collapsed during a game and that's when you were diagnosed, I don't know, if I was Mama Bear, baby, we might have to like, you know, we could play ping pong. We could like get you in a ping pong tournament, you know, or like, you know, chess. You like to play chess, baby?
What?
Like, you ain't gotta be so like running fast and stuff, you know? That's me. What do you guys think?
His heavy medication was making him too sluggish on the court. Hank had reportedly convinced doctors to reduce his dosage. You know? This left his heart completely unprotected against the extreme physical stress of the game. His teammates eventually rallied to make an emotional run to the Elite Eight in his honor.
Hey.
Frozen in time. On January 25th, 2004, a live broadcast captured a young footballer flashing a quick smile on the pitch. And it would be the last image of him smiling. Miklos Miki Feher was a 24-year-old Hungarian striker playing for the legendary Portuguese club Benfica. On a Sunday night, Benfica was locked in a high-stakes match against Vitória de Guimarães. Desperate for a win, the manager subbed Feher into the match over halfway through the game. This move paid off beautifully. Just as the clock ticked into the 19th minute, Feher delivered a perfect assist to his teammate, who scored the game-winning goal. The entire stadium exploded into a frenzy. The live television cameras caught Feher celebrating what appeared to be a massive professional triumph. But just seconds later, during stoppage time, the celebrations suddenly stopped. In an effort to burn off the remaining seconds on the clock and secure the victory, Feher casually delayed a restart of play. The match referee immediately ran over and flashed a yellow card. Well, instead of getting angry, Feher looked directly at the referee, stood completely still, and let out a gentle, casual smile. But as he turned away, Feher stopped in his tracks, bent forward with his hands resting heavily on his knees, and then collapsed onto the wet grass. Players from both teams rushed towards Feher screaming for medical help as they tried to revive him. In a deeply distressing moment, the broadcast cameras stayed locked on the scene as his teammates reacted in shock. Medical responders frantically rushed to perform CPR right on the field. However, it wasn't working. 9 minutes after he collapsed, an ambulance finally arrived, but sadly, it was too late. The 24-year-old was officially pronounced dead from a sudden cardiac arrest caused by a hidden heart condition. And immediately after the tragedy, Benfica decided to retire Miki Feher's jersey, number 29. And no player has worn that number for the club since that night in 2004. Time crime. We naturally assume that the medical teams at...
Y'all, don't forget to, before we get into this next one, don't forget to tap that bell to let you know, so that you're notified anytime I drop another Life's a Bucket vlog. And then don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and comment. Please comment, you guys. And also share, please. I'm trying to get monetized on here, and I'm trying to get this growing, okay? Being myself, sharing my voice, sharing my reactions. Okay, let's
Major sports events are the best in the field. But a 2016 televised broadcast turned that entire belief upside down. This match took place during a soccer match in Bucharest, Romania.
But please, subscribe.
A 26-year-old midfielder named Patrick Aking was playing for Dinamo Bucuresti. On this particular night, Patrick started the game on the bench, patiently waiting for his moment to shine. Well, that moment arrived in the second half when his coach subbed him into the game to help break a tie. He stepped onto the grass looking energized, sharp, and ready to secure a win for his team. Then, just 7 minutes into his appearance as the ball moved down the field, Patrick suddenly collapsed onto his back. Players from both teams rushed to help. They stopped playing, screaming, and waving their arms frantically for the medical crew. But instead of a swift medical response, the live television cameras captured a scene of chaos and confusion. Horrified fans and crying teammates watched in horror as the medics tried to help, but Patrick wasn't responding. Patrick was quickly loaded into an ambulance and rushed to a nearby emergency hospital. Doctors in the emergency room spent over an hour.
Why the fuck does he keep saying Patrick? It's Patrick.
And a half trying to bring him back to life, but the damage was already done. Patrick Aking was officially pronounced dead from a sudden heart attack. The investigation that followed exposed a sickening level of medical malpractice, triggering a massive criminal case. Prosecutors discovered that the emergency doctor on the scene didn't even attempt CPR or the use of a defibrillator. Weirdo! This destroyed Patrick's only chance of survival. The medical company's license was instantly suspended, and the doctor responsible was later convicted of
Dang!
Level 2.
Oh my God, I was not expecting that.
Deadly protocol.
Wow.
A sport is nothing without the rules that guide it. However, one extremely strict rule would turn an ordinary match into a desperate fight for survival. It was June 30th, 2024 at the Badminton Asia Junior Championships in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. On the court stood Zhang Juji, a brilliant rising star from China. He had already swept national junior titles and was widely regarded as the future of Chinese badminton. This evening, he was facing Japan's Kazuma Kawano in a mixed team group stage match. But just as play was underway, Zhang suddenly...
Can you guys see me? Is this okay? Like, is it all right? It's not too dark. You guys, like, listen, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. I'm gonna have a studio again. I'm going to, and I will have like a room where I can fucking record, okay? And it's not gonna be like too many disturbances or distractions going on, so that I don't have to like tend to, you know, because right before I was recording this, I was just chilling here, and this guy pulled up. So I'm parked this way on the curb. The curb's right here. And my car's right here. He pulled up this way facing me. Okay, so now we're like this. He's like up here. He gets out of his car and sits on the sidewalk, gets on his laptop, and just sits there.
Weirdo! My heart's so cold, I think I'm done with ice.
Bothering me.
Collapsed face first on the court. His body began to convulse in full view of the cameras. On the sidelines, a medical responder rushed towards Zhang only to freeze dead in his tracks. For 40 long seconds, Zhang lay convulsing on the floor while the stadium watched in agonizing suspense. Nobody was treating him. Why? Well, it turns out there was a protocol in the Badminton World Federation handbook. Under BWF rules, no medic could set foot on the court without the tournament referee's permission. By the time the protocol cleared and medics finally reached Zhang, precious time had slipped away. He was placed on a stretcher, rushed into a...
That doesn't even make sense. So if a player collapsed during a damn game or a match, the damn ref, or the ref has to clear the meditor is crazy, the doctor to come and check. Wow, that's
standby ambulance and driven to the hospital with no pulse.
I think it's very interesting how there's like instructions or like not instruction directions. That's not how I want. It's like limitations on when you could help somebody or how you could help somebody. What do you mean I can't go help this player who's on the ground, who was just playing? They just collapsed in front of us, and I have to get cleared by the ref first before I could enter on the like floor.
Weirdo.
That's insane. Limits on help.
Hours doctors fought to revive him, even transferring
Limitations
him
on
to a
help.
second hospital, but it was too
That's
late.
that,
Later that day, Jong Juji was pronounced
that
dead
Hollywood
due
shit.
to a sudden cardiac arrest. The tragedy completely overshadowed the rest of the tournament, but the BWF learned from its mistakes. The rules were later changed
Yeah.
to allow
Better
emergency
change
medics
that
onto the
shit.
court without approval.
Yeah, who the fuck said you need approval? To me, that's some like, I don't know, that's like some demonic ass like approval. Like, what do you mean I gotta ask to help?
Delayed call. At a cricket stadium in Sydney, Australia, 25-year-old cricketer Philip Hughes walked out to bat for his team. Philip was one of the best
not
young
so
cricket players in the country, and on this particular day, he was playing incredibly well. By mid-afternoon, he had already scored 63 runs and looked completely unstoppable. To try and slow him down, the other team brought in a fast bowler named Sean Abbott. Sean did exactly what he was coached to do, throwing a super fast bouncing ball right toward Philip's chest to force him into a bad position. Philip instinctively swung his bat to defend himself, but he missed the ball by a fraction of a second. Instead of hitting the bat, the hard leather ball flew right past his defense and struck him directly in the neck. It didn't look like a disaster at first, since Philip actually stayed on his feet for a few seconds while bending over with his hands on his knees. But just as teammates started walking over to check on him, his entire body suddenly dropped onto the grass. Everyone on the field immediately panicked, but shockingly, nobody called for help. Instead, the staff argued about whose job it was to make the phone call. Meanwhile, Philip lay unconscious and struggling with internal bleeding. By the time he finally reached the emergency room, the delay had already erased the window for survival.
Bruh, who are these people around? Talking about no, you call. He like, bruh, he is on the ground. What do you mean? Somebody fucking call. Somebody make the call.
Because of that lack of urgency, Philip never woke up.
Philip took the blow at the side of the neck, and as a result of that blow, his vertebral artery, one of the main arteries leading to the brain, was compressed by the ball.
Wow.
That caused the artery to split and for bleeding to go up into the brain. And he.
Am I tripping, or they said the ball hit him in the neck? How did it travel up? I don't know. All right, somebody leave it in the comments for my dumb ass to figure it out.
A massive bleed into his brain.
And he tragically passed away 2 days later.
To me, that don't even sound like it makes sense.
Level 3.
But I'm a dumbass, so.
85 points. Scoring a near perfect 85 points should have been the best moment of Lane Frost's career. But just 3 seconds after the ride ended, everything went completely wrong. 25-year-old superstar Lane was competing in the championship finals of a massive rodeo event in Wyoming. The stadium floor was completely flooded with thick, heavy mud, and the riding conditions were incredibly slick for everyone competing that day. But despite the terrible weather, Lane settled on to the back of a notoriously mean, massive bull named Taken Care of Business.
He was a
The gates flew open and Lane gave a completely flawless
He was on
performance,
that
balancing on this
bullshit.
violent animal for several seconds. Lane had completely conquered the beast, earning a near perfect 85 points from the judges, while thousands of fans in the crowd erupted into cheers. But while he was still on top of the bull, the animal suddenly managed to fling Lane completely off its side. Before he could sprint over to the safety fences, the massive bull suddenly spun around and charged directly at his back. And in seconds, Lane was struck in the ribs by the bull's horns. It didn't look like a fatal disaster at first, since Lane actually made an attempt to get up and even signaled for help. However, his legs gave out and his body fell right back into the dirt. Rodeo medics rushed into the mud to pump his chest, but the damage done to his body was irreversible. The force of the bull's impact had broken Lane's ribs and completely severed a major internal artery. Lane was officially pronounced dead at the hospital, leaving the rodeo community of Wyoming in
25?
tears. Clay rings. In sumo wrestling, a fallen competitor is expected to get up entirely on their own. But this deep-rooted culture would soon lead to a completely avoidable disaster on live television. At a major tournament inside Tokyo's famous Ryogoku Kokugaikan Stadium, a 28-year-old wrestler named Hibikiru was ready to face off against an aggressive opponent named Imafuku. As the match reached its breaking point at the edge of the ring, Imafuku suddenly executed a powerful arm scoop throw. Normally, this would send Hibikiryu flying off the platform, but instead of landing safely on his side, Hibikiryu crashed onto the hard floor. In a second, his neck bent at an unusual angle. The referee and judges simply stood over him, waiting for him to move. The rules strictly require an athlete to pick themselves back up to show respect for the sport. But as the agonizing seconds ticked by on live television, it became clear that Hibikiryu was alive, but completely unable to lift his head. By the time a doctor finally arrived, it had been more than 5 minutes. That delay had already caused critical damage. Hibikiryu was hospitalized with severe paralysis below the neck. Tragically, after fighting for his life in a hospital bed for a month, Hibikiryu developed acute respiratory failure that officially ended his life at just 28 years old. Wow. Limp on cables.
I'm not gonna lie, these are crazy because like every video that we've seen so far, every athlete we've seen so far, they showed up to their event without the knowing of what was going to transpire and happen, let alone them not being able to go home. And families who traveled to this event and friends who traveled to this event and didn't leave with with that person and that player. That's crazy.
On the night of March 20th, 2015, a packed arena in Mexico featured a tag team match with some of the biggest names in the business. A wrestler named Pero Aguayo Jr. was scheduled for a fight with icon Rey Mysterio. Pero was a highly respected second-generation star at the absolute peak of his career. Because this was a lucha libre match, the action was heavily choreographed from the very beginning. As the match built momentum, his opponent Rey Mysterio hit Pero with a routine dropkick straight to the back to set up his famous signature stunt. But the force of the kick sent Pero sliding directly into the middle rope, where his body immediately slumped over into the classic defensive posture. To the audience, this looked like flawless acting. However, as his tag team partner landed right next to him on the ropes, he noticed Pero's arms were completely limp. That's when he realized this was not part of the act. Pero's partner began shaking and slapping his shoulders to try and wake him up, but Pero's body remained completely unresponsive, hung suspended on the cables. Despite the obvious medical crisis unfolding in plain view, the match kept going right next to his failing body. When the match was finally over, Pero was rushed to the hospital, but it was far too late for a miracle. Doctors desperately tried to revive him, but the impact had broken his neck, triggering a series of fatal conditions. Pero never regained consciousness.
So he got kicked so hard in the back that he got like whiplashed? Damn. And his neck. Oh my God.
Corner trap.
I always thought that.
Taking a punch is a part of everyday life for a professional boxer.
They really kicked each
but in
other.
the 1960s, one televised match quickly turned into a horrifying death sentence. On the night of
I'm
March
not gonna
24,
watch all of these, okay? I
1962,
wanna
a
upload
massive
this, and I want
crowd
you
packed
guys
into
to, like,
Madison
comment and
Square
let me know
Garden
if you
in New
guys
York
enjoy
City
these.
to watch a highly
Like, you know?
anticipated welterweight championship.
Because I really want to.
The fight was
I
between
know
a
I
24.
talk about how sometimes you guys stress me out with the type of content you guys expect to see.
Splash.
But like in terms of my reaction videos, like let me know if you know this is a good reaction video. Like it was fun to watch. It was cool to like get insight on or like see situations like this that you never really heard of or hear too often. So just let me know in that regard. And then I know I did a reaction video to that teenager who was done dirty and done shady. So just let me know about these reaction videos, okay? And then like that NBA finals game and stuff. How you guys feeling it? Are you guys digging it? You guys fucking with it? You guys not fucking with it? Let me know, okay? But I'm not gonna watch this whole video. I'll probably stop around because I also don't know how long I could go. I just don't want this to get too long, and I don't want to. I want to get your guys' thoughts on it first. Cause like if you tell me, let me know. Nah, this too disturbing, MJ. Like fuck that.
You a bitch.
Like let me know what it is. And then, cause like I was an athlete, and okay, fun fact, I used to watch Scarred growing up. So like the X Games and stuff. I used to skateboard, but I wasn't good. I could like ollie and stuff. But I used to watch Scarred a lot. And so like with these, they don't really show this kind of stuff on television. So yeah. And then also, I love psychologicals. I love my little horror movies. You feel me? I just like to, I just wanted to, I don't know why the fuck I'm talking about this.
Weirdo.
Let me know if you guys fuck with it or if it's too disturbing or if it's too much. Also, who watched Nemesis? Comment below if you watched Nemesis. It was another one I just watched. Oh, the Worst Neighbor. Let me know.
4-year-old Cuban fighter Benny Perret and his bitter rival Emil Griffith. Because this was the third time these two men had faced each other, the personal tension between them had reached a dangerous boiling point. The early rounds of the match actually lived up to the hype. Both fighters traded.
Alright. I was like going back and forth. I wasn't saying. Would you guys fuck with it if I like started doing like content of like me getting in shape? I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but like, doing some maybe circuits like this or like running, doing some sprints or going to the gym and like really working out. Would you guys fuck with that type of content too? Like Life's a Bucket, that kind of content? Because Life's a Bucket. Let me know.
Devastating punches. But by the time the grueling contest...
Because also, I'm yelling. Because also, motherfuckers got me fucked up. You feel me? I'm on that enough is enough. What Jennifer Lopez, enough.
Relax. Close your eyes. I'm not here. He's not here. Time! Relax. Breathe. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. That's it. Go!
Type stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Colombiana.
On the car! Put your hands on the car! You think this is funny?
No, sir! No, sir!
Never forget where you came from.
I seen you kill my family.
Who are you? Not from the service.
There's 22 murders in the last 4 years.
I'm doing this my way.
Why?
You know why.
She's going after us. She's just a girl. Take care of it.
I don't know if something or someone hurt you before.
Find her! Look everywhere!
Talk to me.
What do you want to know?
Anything. Something about you.
I was 9 when my parents were killed.
Type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like just recordings and like training, fighting, kickboxing. You guys would fuck with it? Let me know.
Entered the 12th round, Benny's stamina completely gave out. Emil suddenly had a chance to aggressively trap him directly into the corner of the ring. Now, instead of dropping to the canvas to force a count, Benny's upper body became tangled in the heavy elastic ring ropes, which physically propped his limp torso upright. Because he was physically trapped standing up, he could no longer lift his arms to protect his face. He was a completely defenseless target. The referee stood mere inches away from the corner, but instead of stopping the fight, he watched as Emil landed straight to Benny's skull. The live television cameras captured every single blow. By the time the referee stopped the clock, Benny instantly collapsed into a coma right on the canvas. Just 10 days later, doctors determined that the boxing match had caused a series of brain hemorrhages, and he would never wake up. These sports accidents are some of the most shocking.
You guys, like, the end of that one, as I was listening to him when it said he fell in an instant coma, my stomach, like, got into a knot. That is crazy to me. That's so sad. Like, as a ref, how do you not see that he is not blocked? He's not blocking his face.
History, but what comes next is a whole other level. So subscribe and let's.
I've also noticed these are all men. Am I tripping? Like, so no women ever got hurt in sports? I don't know, but I noticed that.
Keep going. Level 4.
Now we just know when enough is enough. We don't stop, and I'm not saying or talking bad about anybody, but y'all, sometimes you men, y'all be, y'all.
Split Heart. The 1992 Feria de Abril Festival was supposed to be a week of celebration. However, one veteran bullfighter would permanently alter the entire atmosphere by the end of the day. As the first animal of the day, a 600-kilo bull named Cubatisto charged onto the sand, Manolo Montillo sprinted forward to execute a defensive maneuver. He intended to perfectly plant 2 decorated sticks into Cubatisto's shoulders. However, he had no idea this beast was about to break its training. Without warning, Cubatisto unexpectedly veered off its track and lunged sideways as Manolo closed the distance. Within a fraction of a second, the beast drove its horn deep into Manolo's chest, launching his body into the air before dumping him onto the dirt. Because the entire collision lasted only seconds, the live television crew inside the production truck misread the situation. They saw it as a standard near miss. Eager to capture a dramatic highlight, the studio director immediately chose to roll back the tape, looping the impact in extreme slow motion 3 times. Weirdo! Instead of jumping back to his feet, Manolo lay motionless while his fellow bullfighters carried his body toward the ringside medical room. Inside the clinic, surgeons quickly discovered that he would not survive the impact. The horn had severely punctured his chest cavity and caused irreversible damage to his heart. Unfortunately, the live footage of the tragedy had already been repeatedly broadcast to millions of families. Mountain descent. On July 18th, 1995, the world's most elite cyclists lined up for stage 15 of the prestigious Tour de France. On the high-profile American Motorola team was Fabio Casartelli, an Olympic gold medalist. As professional cycling entered a new era of extreme challenge, riders were pushing their physical boundaries like never before. They were expected to execute complicated turns down narrow, twisting roads.
The race today was a difficult one. 206 kilometers. They crossed 5 mountains.
One wrong turn. If I sneezed and I veered this way, it's gonna be a catastrophe. Or I veered this way because there's so many bicyclists, it's not gonna be okay. I'm pretty. It won't be a pretty
steep bend on the descent completely stopped the rhythm of the leading pack. All at once, several riders unexpectedly and violently lost traction simultaneously. While tumbling sideways at 55 miles per hour, Fabio was flung directly toward the edge of the road, directly into the path of a heavy...
I seen one of these, like a bicycle one. She was okay though. That's why I said this one is just all men for some reason. That I have seen one where she was bicycling and it wasn't this many people. But when she made a turn, I think she just turned a little too hard or something. Or she didn't prepare for the turn quick enough. She was going way too fast. She hit the rail and instead of so she basically turned and then her bike hit the rail and then her body flew, but like barely to where she didn't go over the edge. If she would have went over the edge, because it was a mountain like this, so like he's saying, but she barely made it basically. So she survived that video. I don't know about this one, but that is crazy. This is crazy.
Concrete retaining wall. Because the safety regulations did not mandate hardshell headgear, he was wearing only a thin cloth cycling cap to protect himself. His completely unprotected head absorbed the force of the stone structure.
We are
so fragile.
The emergency medical helicopter rushed to the scene, and Fabio was quickly airlifted.
Like, when you really think about it, we are so fragile. Like...
I hate gravity!
You could be ego if you want. Like, no, I'm
You a bitch.
You could be that if you want. You are fragile. The fact that you got mad that I said you're fragile, you're
weirdo. Lifted to a nearby hospital. But despite frantic resuscitation attempts inside the aircraft, he suffered multiple cardiac arrests mid-flight. By the time they landed, Fabio had tragically died.
We open our program tonight with the death
and so that was just like heart attack, just back to back to back.
The doctors were on hand very, very swiftly indeed. During that flight, he suffered 3 heart attacks. He died.
I mean, honestly, probably can't.
That is depressing to hear, and also just a reminder, folks, wear your helmet when you're cycling. Ice rut. Imagine getting the world's biggest hockey scouts to notice your talent, only for a tiny defect in the ice to permanently erase that future. This was the exact...
Wait, before this starts, because I think this is going to be the last one, and then I'm going to stop it. I watched one where it was a hockey player, and basically, I think he survived. Basically, it was a collision, and one of the players fell, and his blade went up and kicked somebody in the face, and he sliced him. Like, y'all, the one that I watched before this one, I don't even know how to explain it, but this, I wonder what's going on.
Reality for 26-year-old Ludziek Czajka on the night of January 5th, 1990. Ludziek was a national team hero for Czechoslovakia. He had proven so talented that he was actively preparing to take his defensive skills across the Atlantic to the New York Rangers. But before he could pack his bags, his club team traveled to Košice for one more late-season match. During the game, a cleared puck slid down the rink, triggering a high-speed drag race into the corner boards. Under the sport's outdated regulations, the referee could not simply blow the whistle. Instead, Ludziek was legally forced to sprint at absolute top speed to physically touch the puck before his opponent could reach it. But while moving at high speed, Ludziek's skate caught a hidden, uneven rut in the ice. Suddenly, he lost all balance, and because he was traveling so fast, his body collided fully with the wooden wall. The moment of the crash had fractured his cervical vertebrae and spinal cord, leaving him completely paralyzed.
Oh my gosh, see, it's things like this that happen in life that leave you, well, like, okay, so with that, there's no going back to that. But like situations where it's like, damn, if I would have just did this, like if I didn't do that, none of this would happen. Like, y'all, if he would have just not been the one to race, like, for the puck, or if he would have told himself, I'm not going to run and sprint because, I mean, it's not like you're in a game, bro. That's crazy. Because he's not thinking, I'm going to fall face first into this wall. Oh, life is crazy. Paralyzed.
He was rushed to the hospital where surgeons spent the next 2.5 hours operating on his skull. However, the structural damage was permanent.
Hovořil jsem před malou chviličkou, než jsem šel do studia s ošetřujícím lékařem doktorem Klímou. Řekl mi, že stav Luďka Čajky je nadále velice kritický a že je v hlubokém bezvědomí.
Luděk spent the next 40 days trapped inside a vegetative coma, his body shutting down piece by piece until he finally passed away.
Wow.
Level 5.
Okay. Y'all, I'm gonna end it right there, okay? It looks like someone else is heading this way. Hopefully he turns, but I'm not sure. I hope you guys enjoyed the first half of this, and then let me know if you guys want the second half, okay? I'm not going to get the second half to you guys unless you guys let me know. Actually, I might still give you guys the second half, but you guys need to let me know in the comments, okay? I hope your guys' week is beautiful. I hope your guys' weekend is even more beautiful, and I hope that you did enjoy this Life's a Bucket little athletic, bizarre twists and crazy stories, and kind of tragedies. So with that being said, don't forget to take care of you. Don't forget to take care of your mind. Don't forget to take care of your heart. And baby, don't forget to smile more today than you did yesterday, okay? Be sure to tap that bell so that you're notified anytime I drop another one. And again, please, 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 please subscribe. Okay, I'm at 26,000 subs. Let's try to get to 30,000. All right. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and take care of yourself. Be well. Always.